I was born and raised in the heart of Boston, a city where echoes of the past intertwine with the rush of present. The cobblestone streets of Beacon Hill carried whispers of history, while modernity imposed itself with shimmering lights and a relentless pace. My childhood was a delicate balance between the simplicity of everyday life and the richness of traditions. My mother, a woman with a gentle gaze but a spirit of steel, prepared dinner each evening while murmuring prayers. Her voice blended with the crackling of the fire and the clinking of pots. There was a silent devotion in her movements, a faith passed down not through words but through the constancy of her love. My father was a craftsman. His hands, marked by years of labor, told a story of perseverance. Every evening, he came home tired but with pride in his eyes, and we shared meals that were simple in ingredients but rich in heart. From not early age, spirituality was a part of my daily life. I would wake up at dawn to accompany my father to church, feeling a deep connection with something greater than myself with each prayer. The sacred texts were not just recitations. They were a thread connecting my existence to generations before me. As I grew older, I pursued my studies with dedication, finding in my faith an unshakable foundation. I believed my life was mapped out, stable, like a well-defined road where one simply had to walk with integrity. Then came the day when life tested me. Driven by the hope of a better future, I left Boston for New York City, a metropolis where history and modernity merge in a constant whirlwind. I built my life there, started a family, and became part of a community that shared my values and faith. The years passed, marked by work, raising my children, and the ongoing quest for stability and meaning. But life, unpredictable as it is, reminded me of how fragile everything can be. At 63, a diagnosis came down like a sentence. Diabetes, a silent enemy I had ignored for too long, was beginning to take its toll. Fatigue, once fleeting, now settled into my bones. The aches I had brushed off became warning signals I could no longer ignore. One morning, as I climbed the stairs at home, a strange sensation washed over me. My breath shortened, my heart pounded erratically, and a dark veil fell over my eyes. I clung to the railing, trying to regain a balance that was slipping away from me. Then, everything went black. That was the beginning of a journey I never could have imagined. Would you like your name to be mentioned in our next video and receive a special message? It's simple. Leave a like and comment your name and city below. Imagine thousands of people hearing your name and discovering you through this incredible community. A unique moment, a chance to be part of something greater. So, don't hesitate. We can't wait to hear from you. Join our community. If this story touched you, subscribe to our channel and like the video. Here, we share incredible experiences that enlighten our lives and strengthen our faith. Join us as we walk this journey of truth and hope together. Silence, a profound, absolute silence, unlike the peaceful stillness of the night or the quiet moments of solitude. This was a void, a complete absence of sound, time, and boundaries. And I was there, floating in this undefined space, conscious but detached from everything I had known. At first, there was nothing. No light, no shadow. Just not endless expanse, where my existence was reduced to a mere presence, a consciousness suspended between two realities. I tried to understand where I was, but every thought seemed to dissolve into the immensity of this emptiness. Then, a strange sensation took hold of me. It wasn't fear. No, it was a peace so deep it felt almost unreal. A sensation of being entirely accepted, understood, loved in a way I had never experienced before. And then I heard it, a voice, neither male nor female, neither loud nor soft, a voice that didn't need words to be understood. It resonated within me, vibrating through every part of my being, as if it spoke directly to my soul. Do not be afraid. The words were simple, but they carried immense weight, authority that surpassed all human logic. A gentle warmth spread through me, erasing any trace of anxiety. Then, slowly, the void around me began to change. Faint lights appeared, at first discreet, then growing brighter. They weren't like the lights of the world I knew. They felt alive, pulsing with the rhythm of something invisible yet ever present. Moving shadows took shape before me, indistinct silhouettes dancing in a silent ballet. I felt as if I were being drawn towards something, not unseen but undeniable presence. At that moment, one certainty filled me. I was not alone. The world around me continued to shift, and soon, beneath my feet, a surface appeared. A crystalline ground, shimmering as if every grain of matter was illuminated from within. The atmosphere wasn't just bright, it was pure in a way I had never known. I tried to move, to take a step forward, but my body no longer had the same weight as before. Yet, I didn't need to walk to advance. It was as if non-invisible force was guiding me toward a specific point. And then, in the distance, I saw it, at first indistinct. Like a flickering light on the horizon, a silhouette slowly took shape. It was human in form, yet radiated a light of incomparable purity. A light that didn't blind but rather attracted, embraced, and warmed. I wanted to speak, to ask 1,000 questions, but no sound left my lips. Yet I knew this presence already understood my thoughts. Slowly it approached, and the moment its gaze met mine, I knew nothing would ever be the same again. My heart, or whatever remained of it in this strange state, seemed to beat in sync with not unknown energy. I was standing before this presence, this being of light whose very existence seemed to hold not infinite truth. It did not speak immediately, yet I felt it knew me in a way no one ever had, as if every moment of my life, every thought, every hope, and every fear had already been revealed to it. Then, with a voice filled with not indescribable gentleness, it spoke my name, James. That single word resonated through me like a tidal wave. It was as if, for the first time in my life, my existence had a profound meaning. It was not just a name, it was a calling. A shiver ran through me. I wanted to speak, to ask questions, to understand what was happening to me. But before I could even form a single word, images flooded my mind. Memories. I saw myself as a child, running through the streets of Boston, laughing under my mother's warm gaze. I saw myself as a teenager, sitting beneath an old oak tree, staring at the sky, wondering if God could truly hear me. I saw myself as an adult, walking through the crowded streets of New York, the weight of responsibility pressing on my shoulders, trying to balance work, family, and faith. Then, I saw myself more recently, lying in a hospital bed, feeling my body betray me while my mind wrestled with questions I had never dared to face. The scenes played out at an overwhelming speed, as if my entire existence was unfolding before me. And in the midst of this storm of memories, one truth became crystal clear. I had never been alone. At every moment, in every joy, in every trial, a presence had always been there. Silent, invisible, but undeniably present. And then, the being of light spoke once more. "It is time, James. It is time for you to see." As I crossed that invisible boundary, a wave of warmth flooded through me, different from anything I had ever felt before. It wasn't a physical warmth, but a light that seemed to seep into the very core of my being. The world I had known faded behind me, replaced by an expanse beyond human comprehension. Here, time no longer seemed to exist. There was no before or after, only a now that stretched endlessly. I was transported into a place of indescribable beauty. Around me, landscapes formed and shifted in a harmonious dance. Colors I had never seen before pulsed in the air, radiating a living energy. The very atmosphere seemed to sing a silent melody, a harmony so pure that it resonated within me like a forgotten memory. Then before me, a vision unfolded. A vast river of light flowed peacefully, its shimmering waters containing what looked like stars and galaxies. This was no ordinary river. It was a stream of pure energy, a current of eternity. On the other side, I saw figures. They weren't like ordinary humans, but beings radiant with light and peace. A profound serenity emanated from them, a joy that transcended any earthly emotion. Then, one figure stepped forward. I couldn't make out the face, but the gaze, that gaze held infinite tenderness and wisdom, a recognition so deep, as if we had known each other long before this moment. Without a word, the figure extended a hand toward me. At that instant, now emotion beyond words overwhelmed me. It wasn't fear nor excitement. It was a feeling of returning home, as if I had finally found what I had been searching for all my life without knowing where to look. I was at a threshold few had crossed. But just as my mind was ready to embrace this new reality, another voice echoed through the space. Not yet. Time seemed to pause. The figure before me did not retreat, but its gaze became more intense. There was no sadness, no rejection, just unshakable certainty. You still have something to accomplish. Invisible force gently pulled me back, away from the river, away from the light. I wanted to understand. I wanted to stay. But deep within me, I knew this decision was not mine to make. And as the light faded, a sense of mission imprinted itself upon me. My journey was not over. And you? Where are you watching this video from? We have a special message for you in our next episode. Leave a like and comment your name and city below. Imagine your name spoken in front of our amazing community, a unique moment, a powerful connection. Make your voice heard. We can't wait to read your comment and send you a special message in the next video. A strange sensation filled me as I felt myself being pulled back, tore away from that light and infinite peace. It wasn't a fall nor a violent separation, but a transition, like non-visible thread gently drawing me back to a world I thought I had left forever. The ethereal landscapes around me began to fade, replaced by a peaceful darkness. This was not the emptiness from before, nor the void of fear, but a passage, a bridge between two realities. My consciousness drifted through this in-between space, and suddenly, visions flashed before my eyes. I saw my family. My wife, sitting beside my hospital bed, her eyes swollen from sleepless nights and silent prayers. My children, watching over me, their expressions filled with hope and fear, clinging to a miracle. Then I saw other faces, people I had encountered throughout my life, strangers I had helped without realizing it, friends I had comforted in their darkest times. And suddenly I understood I hadn't returned just because my time wasn't up. I had returned for them, for those who still needed me, for those to whom I needed to share what I had seen. The voice I had heard before departing resonated again within me. You still have something to accomplish. These words weren't a command, but a calling, a mission I could no longer ignore. Then, a familiar light broke through the darkness. But this time, it was not the heavenly light I had seen beyond the river. It was the artificial light of a hospital room ceiling. The slow, steady beeping of a heart monitor reached my ears. A sensation of weight returned to my body. I opened my eyes. Air rushed into my lungs as if I were breathing for the first time. My body felt both heavy and foreign, like a suit that no longer fit after a journey into a world without weight. The sounds of the present pulled me back into reality. The beeping of machines, the soft voices of nurses in the hallway, and then a voice. He's awake. I heard the hurried scraping of a chair being pushed back, and suddenly a warm hand grasped mine. I turned my head slowly. It was her, my wife. Her eyes were filled with tears, but not tears of sadness. It was something else, a mixture of disbelief, relief, and a love so deep that words could not express it. I tried to speak, but my throat was dry. It took me a few seconds before I could form even the simplest of words. I'm here. Those words seemed insignificant, but to me, they meant everything. Yes, I was here, but I had also been somewhere else. Somewhere few men had ever seen. My children rushed into the room, followed by the doctor. Smiles, tears, hugs, everything blended together in a storm of emotions. But deep inside, I knew I had changed forever. The doctor spoke to me, but I struggled to focus on his words. He said my condition had improved in ways he couldn't explain, that my weakened heart was now beating with unexpected strength. But I knew it wasn't medicine that had brought me back. It was a mission, and as I lay there, surrounded by my loved ones, a certainty crystallized in my mind. I had to testify. Everything I had seen, felt, and understood, I could not keep it to myself. I had been sent to the other side, but I had been brought back with a message. And now, I knew exactly what I had to do. Join our community. We don't earn a cent from sharing these stories. We do it out of passion, out of faith, to bring hope and light to those who need it most. If this story touched you, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your small gesture is a great help to us, and more importantly, it allows us to continue sharing these experiences that transform us all. Thank you for being here. You are part of this beautiful community. The days following my awakening were filled with silence and deep reflection. I was no longer the same man. Something within me had changed forever, as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a reality I could no longer ignore. My loved ones noticed it too. My gaze was different. My demeanor had shifted. I had experienced something beyond words, and now I carried within me a truth that went beyond ordinary human understanding. I couldn't explain everything, but one thing was certain: I had returned with mission. For hours, I sat by the window, staring at the sky, wondering why I'd been chosen to live through this. Why me? Why had I been sent so far beyond, only to be brought back? Then the answer came. It wasn't just for me. It was for others. I realized that we spend our lives chasing temporary things, forgetting that our existence does not end with what we see here on Earth. There is something else, something infinitely greater. And I had to share this message. The first time I tried to talk about my experience, some listened with awe, others with skepticism. But it didn't matter. Those who were ready to hear would understand. And little by little, I realized that my role was not to convince anyone, but simply to testify. Because truth, when spoken from the heart, always finds its way. So, if you are here today, reading this, it is not by chance. You have followed this story to the very end. And now you have a choice. You can walk away and continue life as before, or you can go deeper. Because this is just the beginning. Don't stop here. What you're about to discover in the next video could change your life. Just click on the video that appears on your screen and continue this incredible revelation. And before you go, like this video and comment Amen so that the blessings continue to flow in your life. May the light guide you.